Rolling right along in the ACX Audiobook Publishing series, I'm gonna talk about a few little secrets. They're not so much secrets, actually. These are things that are hidden in plain sight. In fact, if they were a snake, they would have bit you, and you are going to stand to lose a lot if you don't stay tuned. This is Self-Publishing with Dale, and if you'd like to learn more about how to publish books that sell and build an unstoppable author brand, make sure that you subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss a single video. Hey, do you listen to audiobooks? If so, what are some of your favorite ones? Do you like nonfiction, fiction? Do you have a specific author that you like to lean on? I'd love to hear your top 3, so just drop them inside the comments. Stick around to the end because I'm going to give you 7 little insights about Audiobook Creation Exchange's features that you may not know about. Just as a quick review, kind of like what I did in the previous videos, ACX is Audiobook Creation Exchange. They have distribution to Audible, Amazon, and iTunes in regions such as the US, the UK, Canada, Ireland, Germany, France, Australia, Japan, and it looks like they're going to continue to expand in due time. For full details about ACX and all their features and such like that, make sure that you visit the links down inside the description below. So is this all hype? Is this clickbait? No, this actually is factual. There are 7 things, and I tell you, the only reason why I know that these are just secrets hidden in plain sight, because there are times where I've told people about this and they go, what? I didn't know it was there. And they were publishing over on ACX for years and didn't know about these things. So without any further ado, and in order of importance to me, number 1, keyword optimization for Audible. Okay, so a lot of people make the mistake of taking their listing that they have over through KDP and they just copy and paste the description and just put it right over into ACX. That can work, don't get me wrong, but it's probably not one of the best practices if you want to really dial in your content over on Audible and get a big win. So where some keywords can be completely dominated, completely saturated over on the Amazon platform, the funny thing is it can be the complete opposite on the Audible platform. And that's where the money's to be had. If you really pay attention, you might see that something's completely saturated, or what appears to be saturation. It could be filled full of all these products and it seems like you can't be heard above the noise, but the nice thing is no one is paying attention to Audible. So this is where you need to figure out, okay, the keywords that are working out really well on Amazon, they might just work over here on the Audible platform. So here's what I would recommend, and I've talked a little bit about keyword research, and you can actually look inside this channel to numerous videos where I talk about keyword research, and one of the simple ways of doing it is using auto-suggest. And I'm not just going to limit you to doing your auto-suggestion over on Amazon's platform. You're actually going to want to go over and look over on the Audible platform and use their auto-suggestion tool. And hit that little drop down. So what you'll end up doing is take your root keyword. Let's say, for instance, it's fitness. You start to type up fitness and you wait for that auto-suggestion and see all of the keywords that are available. You will be shocked to find when you select any one of those that the difference between how much search volume comes up for one keyword on Audible versus how much search volume comes up on Amazon, way different. But it can be a game changer if you can pay attention to what is really ready to be picked at this point over on Audible. 2, bounty links. Okay, so will you take a couple of bucks for royalty, or would you take $75? That is the big difference when it comes to referring people over through your bounty links. I talked a little bit about that in one of my previous videos when it comes to bounty links. All that to say this is you refer people through a specific link that ACX provides you to your product page, and if the person downloads your book and joins the Audible program, the 30-day free trial, and they stay on beyond those 30 days for the paid membership, you get a $75 bonus. And you might be thinking to yourself, but Dale, I write a short children's book. It's about 2 minutes long tops, or maybe my book is only a half hour. No one's gonna wanna take that. Au contraire. Here's the nice thing is, you might be getting a small amount for that short book, But if you offer for free in exchange through the bounty link, you're actually going to end up getting $75. So this is a huge opportunity. Don't sleep on bounty links. 3, promo codes. You get up to 100 promotional codes per title in your account, and this is available both through the US and UK markets. This is, in essence, a way to get your book out into more hands, so that way you get more reviews on there. And as some of you are may be aware, reviews provide social proof, and the more social proof that you have, the more likely people are going to purchase your title. 4, additional categories. Audible has up to 200 categories. That's crazy, right? 200 categories on their platform. Did you know you could actually put categories onto your title? Believe it or not, you usually just fire it off and just hope for the best. And the nice thing is ACX will kind of toss you into whatever category they see fit based on the keyword selection and your type of book. Now, why are categories so important? It aids in discoverability, because if you're, say, for instance, put into, say, just a single category, you're only being seen by a small amount of people. But if you utilize their 3 categories, that's right, you can actually have 3 categories on your ACX listing, then you greatly increase the odds of being discovered on the Audible platform. You will actually have to put in the request to support@acx.com, and I'll actually slip a link to those 200 categories. You want to choose wisely. Unlike Amazon KDP, sorry KDP, I'm just going to call you out on this one here. Unlike Amazon KDP, where you can kind of list your book on any kind of category, I don't recommend. On Audible, they are very strict, and there's been some times where I actually have had to push back and say, yes, this title does belong in that category. But they are very strict when it comes to having your audiobook put into the proper category listings. 5, no ebook necessary. As long as you have a paperback iteration of your book and it's available on the Amazon Marketplace, you can produce it on ACX. And here's the really nifty thing, and not too many people realize this, that across all 3 iterations of ebook, print book, and audiobook, they don't all have to lock up. They don't need to be exactly the same. In fact, I can think back of when I was a kid and I used to see the old CDs inside the store, where you would see just the standard CD, and then there would be the bonus one from over in Europe, and they would have 5 extra tracks. Well, I wanted both of them because one of them was in a one specific way, and the other one just had like different cover art, and it had to collect all of those. And that's kind of the nice thing, is because you offer your audience different iterations. So with audiobooks, remember, you can paint outside the box and get it to where you're still providing the great same value, but just by way of audio. All that to say this, that all you need is a paperback version. You can have a paperback, you can have an ebook, you can have both of them. Either way, you can get the audiobook. As long as you have that print version, you can still do it. 6, ACX cover art. This is a tough one to learn. This is one that I learned the hard way. I used to take my ebook covers and I would just stretch them to meet the square dimensions of the 2400 by 2400 cover art requirements on ACX. And admittedly, when I did it, they looked hit. They looked hit. And I'm even looking back at some of those and I'm like, why didn't I sell anything? Well, no kidding, because it stretched out, it looked terrible. And when I finally figured out over the past year that all I needed to do was take the same cover art, but make it built to the 2400 by 2400 dimensions. That means paying your cover designer a little extra, or taking a little bit extra time to putting together the actual ACX cover art to meet those dimensions rather than stretching them. It made a huge difference, because one of my titles, I was lucky if I sold 1 per month. And then I switched the cover. It was instantaneous. As soon as it propagated across the platforms and the cover art was updated and it was specific to ACX, I started seeing 1 sale per day, and that's way better. And it was actually, it exceeded my expectations. It blew me away, and it got me to thinking a little bit more deliberately about my next actions when it comes to producing audiobooks. Don't take the cover lightly. Don't just stretch it out, because you're leaving a lot of money on the table and you're scaring away some otherwise great listeners who will consume your content. Hey, before we jump into the very last of the 7 tips here, I want to let you know you can actually enroll in the DIY publishing course for beginners for free. And I actually talk a little bit more about Audiobook Creation Exchange and how you can utilize that platform for your author brand. Just head on over to DIYpublishing.biz/free. Sharing's caring. Share it with somebody who else would enjoy it too. Number 7, downloadable PDFs. Not enough people realize that the Audiobook Creation Exchange wants you to win. They want to equip you with all the tools to really start to shift some units. And in this instance, downloadable PDFs is just that little extra you can deliver to your audiobook audience. And here's how it works. When you upload your project to be approved for ACX, and ACX goes through and they review the files, they'll typically send you back an email and say, hey, it's been approved. It'll be on the platform here pretty soon. As soon as you see that, or even just a little bit before that, you're going to send an email over to their support team at support@acx.com and let them know that you're going to want them to attach a downloadable PDF. Now, you're going to have to produce this to post sale of your audiobook. And the nice thing is, in your description, they're actually going to have like a bolded out area just below your description that says this comes along with a downloadable document after sale, and it'll be available inside your Audible library. And it's kind of neat because someone can probably looking through their mobile and they can actually select that downloadable document and they can look through it. Now, some fiction writers out there might be going, but I can't do that. Think about ways that you can kind of help build more value on your title. So it could be a spin-off story of some sort, or it could be character profiles. For nonfiction books, it could be even pictures that are relevant to your stuff. So for instance, in some of my exercise routines, I make sure to attach picture representation so that way when people go back to do the workout, they have something to look at. Within that downloadable PDF, there's so many opportunities available to build additional value. Just think, if you actually put a call to action to subscribe to your email newsletter, maybe you have a lead magnet of some sort, and it actually can further bring them on over onto your platform instead of just ACX's. And then like kind of what we talked about before, and bounty links. Good Lord, you could put the bounty links in for other relevant titles within that PDF. In fact, actually, instead of me talking about the bounty links right here, you can actually think about this a little bit more when you join me in the next video where we talk about ACX bounty links. I actually will see you down there.